Alright, so today on our strip of paper, we're going to be creating a value scale. So value is going to be showing the different lights and darks in your colors, and we're going to be using crayons to create some different values today. So on your strip of paper, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make 2 lines down the side of our paper here. It's going to split it up into about 3 boxes. And it does not need to be perfect, just kind of splitting it up so we have 3 different spaces. And once you have those 3 spaces, we're going to be picking a crayon. So you can pick any color except yellow or white. And what we're looking to do with that crayon is we're going to be creating 3 different values. So we're going to be making a light color, a medium color, and a dark color. And we'll use it all with just that same crayon. So I'm using blue. So on my strip of paper here, the first square is where we're going to do my light value. To do your light value, you're going to just color how you normally would, just really lightly. So I'm just pressing down lightly on my paper. Just hardly pressing down so my color is just barely showing up. It kind of needs a little glare on the screen there, but it's very light. This is just a light value. So go ahead and take a minute here to get your first square colored in with a light value, just barely pressing down. As you finish your light value, we're going to do our second box, which is going to be your medium value or your middle value. I'm going to start pressing just a little bit harder here. Still doing kind of big coloring strokes to help kind of fill in that space. If you need to rip off the wrapper off your crayon, you can. So I'm pressing just a little bit harder, and when you look at it, you should be able to see the difference between the two. So take a moment now to see if you have a different value, if this second box is darker than your first one. Kind of fill in if you need to. So I would say that those are different values. When you are done with that, the last step is your darkest value. So you're going to be pressing a little more firm now. You don't need to break your crayon in half, pushing super hard, but you're just pressing a little bit harder, still doing big strokes with your crayon, but I'm pressing a little harder and I'm trying to fill in more of that white space. So there's not as much paper showing because I'm just pressing that crayon into those different spaces. And as I do that and I kind of go back over my spaces more, kind of fills it in to get a nice dark value. And again, you can kind of look at your previous spot, your middle value, and see if you can see the difference. If you're having trouble, you can kind of cover up that light value and then check it. If you can see the difference, then you have got your light, medium, and dark value all finished up. When you finish each one of those values, you could try a different color on the back, and you could try and see if you could make that value scale without the line. So see if you can color this whole strip of paper going from light and then kind of working your way to that medium value where you're starting to press a little bit harder. And then as you get about halfway there, you're pressing even harder and harder. And as you get to the end, you're pressing nice and hard with your crayon. Go back over it more if you need to make it darker. But see if you can kind of create that value scale without lines. See if you can kind of go from this light color to maybe a bit more of a kind of a medium color here to that dark color. You're just kind of making that same value scale. We're trying it without the lines.